there, folks, and welcome into today's video. We got a fun one to talk about here today. We're going to talk about me selling the Chef and if that would crash the stock price. I definitely see a lot of the short sellers say, hey, the only reason the stock is in $5 today is because Jeremy and a lot of Jeremy's people all own this stock. And so therefore, like, this stock's done, it's held up decently well in this sort of market, right? Because let's be honest, there's a lot going on with the short sellers, and I want to talk about this concept that if I was to sell the Chef, would this stock crash, okay? We're also going to talk about the second concept I want to talk about in today's video, that the only way I can be saved is by a short squeeze in this scenario, okay? And I want to talk about both these in this video, and I want to address both of these. If I was to sell out a Tattooed Chef, would this stock crash? And also, like, would a short squeeze be the only thing that saves me, right? So let's speak about both those. By the way, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Rumor is small caps start to skyrocket once we hit 100K subscribers on this channel, guys. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do so, okay? So in regards to Chef, an update on where I'm at position sizing with this one. And I'm still acquiring shares of the Chef, by the way. I'm up to 59,999 shares of the Chef now. I am up to 15,000 shares of the Chef in this particular account. This is a public account. This is my main private account that you're seeing the shares there. Usually you're going to expect bigger position sizing in the private account versus the public account. The public account has like 1.6 million in it or something like that, maybe 1.7 million stocks, somewhere around there. Oh shoot, it might drop further than that. I don't know. It might be at 1.5 now for all I know. But nonetheless, okay, there's obviously a position I'm actually still actively buying in the market right now. For me, it hasn't gone great as far as the performance, obviously. Down 10%, down 12.7%. If I was a shorts, I'd be pretty happy, right? But the shorts always seem jaded. They always seem like mad and things like that. You want to know why it's really, really frustrating to be a short seller? Is because even when everything goes your way, right, and the stock price is tanking, right, you got to pay this down here. If you try to short Tattooed Chef stock right now, which good luck even trying to short the stock because they're max short right now, which sets up for potential crazy squeeze. That's just a whole other thing. But even when things go great and the stock price tanks and all the small caps tank, including the Chef, right? Well, it hasn't tanked as hard as they wish it would have, right? You have to pay 18.75% annual interest rate. Think about that for a moment. So let's imagine you short the Chef, right? So you get your shares of the Chef shorted here, right? You need the stock to go down almost 20% to break even. Think about that. You need it to go down 20% over the next year to break even, all right? Now, here's a risk you're setting up, right? Let's say it doesn't go down, right? Let's say the stock is flat. Let's say it doesn't even go up, right? Let's just say the stock is flat. Now you're in a scenario where you just lost almost 20% of your money and the stock didn't even go up. Never mind, imagine the scenario where there's a massive short squeeze because shorts are max shorted here. And all of a sudden small caps start jumping back. And the next thing you know, money starts flowing in and all those sorts of things, right? Like, you have to be, in my opinion, insane to short. You need a true miracle to make money as a short seller shorting a stock like the Chef. Flat out. You probably need multiple miracles. They got their miracle, right? The miracle was a Tattooed Chef postponed the last earnings, right? There was like the miracle scenario. It all played out. Their fantasy came true, right? And what happened with the stock? It went down, but it's not like it was like, wow, it's down 50% or something like that. Or it's down 80% like they would have hoped, right? And if you're a short seller, you've got to be playing this from a perspective of trying to get a 50% plus gain. Otherwise, it's not worth it when you got to pay this ridiculous interest rate and you're setting up for a massive squeeze, okay? So let's address first off the scenario, like if I was to sell a stock, would it tank, right? I think if I was to sell the Chef, right, I think the stock would get hurt. To a certain extent. How bad hurt, I don't know. But obviously, me putting my name behind it is obviously, it's a big factor, right? But at the end of the day, I think when it comes to Chef, I think anybody that's done research in this stock is really in this from a long-term perspective. You got to understand, a company like the Chef, a lot of people hear about this company and they're not excited, right? They hear it and they're like, well, what's the big deal? It's a frozen food company. Oh, it's a plant-based food company, right? I eat meat. So let's assume you're not into plant-based foods at all, right? You don't even see that trend coming because you're in your own little world, and you're just like, I eat bacon every day. I eat meat constantly. I'm not interested in plant-based foods. So if you're not willing to look at it from a different perspective of like where's the trends going, you don't see it, right? No different than when I used to talk about how basically by the end of this decade, by 2030, like I couldn't even imagine somebody, I used to say this all the time in videos when I talk about Tesla, I say, I can't even imagine somebody going to buy an electric vehicle in the year 2030. Like that's just, not an electric vehicle, an internal combustion engine, right? An ICE car. Can't even imagine somebody going to buy an ICE car in the year 2030. And I used to say that all the time, right? Like, imagine going to the dealership and you're like, I want to buy an internal combustion engine. Like, no, that's just not happening, right? And so, but at the same time, if you were hearing me talk like that back in 2018, doing all these Tesla videos, right? And you did not care anything about electric vehicles. You didn't understand that wave that's coming and was coming, right? And you're like, dude, I drive my internal combustion engine F-150. Like, if you don't see the trends, right, it doesn't add up to you. So a lot of folks hear a stock like this and they're like, big deal, plant-based food company. I don't care about plant-based foods. I eat meat every day, right? And so you don't even see it coming, right? Because you're not in that frame of mind yet that you can even understand how big of a trend this is and how it's like a game-changing food trend, right? And a lot of people, they don't do the research into this and understand that this company's getting into a lot more products. They don't understand the profitability of building once you build into and you've scaled becoming a food giant. They don't understand that, right? So a lot of folks are just like, they see a stock like this and nah, I'm not interested in that, right? The folks that actually spend the research time, they're in this baby for the long haul, right? The folks that are really gone down that rabbit hole of understanding plant-based foods, how much this industry is going to grow over the next decade and decades to go in the future, how big of a player the Tattooed Chef's going to be in this sector over time, how fast this company's innovating versus any other company that is in the entire food space, plant-based or non-plant-based. And I think folks that really do their research on this really realize the game with the stock market and the game with being a public company is a game of innovation. And the companies that move the fastest win long term, right? And we've seen that consistently play out throughout time. The companies that move the fastest and keep moving the fastest and keep the pedal to the metal, they just get a bigger and bigger advantage over all competition. And when you understand compounding and how compounding works, you realize a company like Tattooed Chef, they're going to beat everybody. Literally everybody. They're going to beat everybody. They're moving so much faster than everybody. And so people that have gone down this rabbit hole and bought this stock, I don't think it matters anymore whether I am buying more Tattooed Chef or selling the stock or anything, right? Which, if anything, I'm buying the stock, right? This isn't even one I can consider selling for the next several years, strictly for the fact that it's a cult stock to me. This is like a Tesla Tesla, right? Where it's someday I'll sell Tattooed Chef, but it's just no time soon. Even I've got a lot of gains I could write off this year, right? A lot of gains, so I could essentially sell it a Tattooed Chef. Let's say buy back Tattooed Chef. I just can't do that with this stock. It's not one of those stocks I'm willing to, even if I could write it off as a tax loss, which I could, right? It's not even one of those stocks I'm interested in doing that. It's too special. There's most of the stocks I hold in my portfolios, it's just money to be made, right? And I just look at it from a financial perspective. Tattooed Chef, I look at it a little different, right? This is something I'm wrapping my brand around, right? Like I did Tesla back in the day. And so not interesting to me. And so at the end of the day, if let's say hypothetically was to sell out of the stock, I think it matters very little to the stock, because the people that understand what Tattooed Chef's going after, they don't need my vote of confidence anymore, right? The same way nowadays, when it comes to, especially with Tesla stock, no one needs my vote of confidence for Tesla stock, and that's one of the reasons I don't really talk about it Tesla anymore. Is it's no one needs my vote of confidence to buy Tesla stock nowadays or hold Tesla stock. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe back in the day it did. It doesn't nowadays. So I think the folks that really do their research work into this one and really understand what the long-term opportunity is for this, those people aren't selling no matter what for the next several years. This stock goes to 20, 25, 30. Those folks aren't selling. This stock goes to 35. And that's what I think a lot of the short sellers miss, right? They just look at this and they say, oh man, if it goes up a little bit, the longs are going to sell. No, okay? Maybe short-term traders will. At the end of the day, the longs, we don't care. I don't care. Tattooed Chef's $30. I'm not selling. I don't care. Tattooed Chef's $40. I'm not selling. There's way too big of a long-term opportunity there to try to get caught up in the short-term money when it comes to a stock like the Chef. This is a multi-year play that's just too dang exciting, okay? So let's speak about this one. Now, if you didn't know, there's groups of individuals that they just go on message boards and they talk about me all the time, and it's pretty fascinating actually. And I'm rather humbled, to be honest. Like folks that I'm like living rent free in folks' heads. Like it's humbling to be quite honest. That folks want to talk about me and bring me up all the time. But there's definitely a lot of individuals that say things like this. Only a short squeeze is going to save Jeremy. No. No, not at all, actually. And actually, I don't even care if there's a short squeeze. I think there's a good probability there'll be a short squeeze when you look at that interest rate and you look at max shorting. Good chance there will be a short squeeze. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when it comes to Tattooed Chef, analysts are coming to this stock. Hedge funds are coming to this stock. Funds in general are coming to this stock. There's going to be so many dang plant-based ETFs that are coming for the stock over the coming years. And big money is going to come to the stock as the market cap goes up and as the revenue scale. And next thing you know, they're doing $300 million a year, $500 million a year, $700 million a year, $1 billion plus a year, right? Big money's coming to this stock no matter what. I don't need a short squeeze. If a short squeeze happens, it doesn't make a difference for me. If the stock squeezes to 24 again, 23, like we've seen many times in the past, if you look at a chart pattern of Tattooed Chef, you're going to find that the stock goes down to 15, 16, goes up to 22, 23, 24. Goes back down to 15, 16, goes up to 22, 23, 24. We've seen that several times play out. Doesn't make a difference to me. It's not like, if it goes to 22, I'm selling out, cashing out. It doesn't make a difference. So I don't even need a short squeeze. A short squeeze is just entertainment at the end of the day. That's honestly all it is. At the end of the day, when you're a long-term investor in these type of companies, none of that stuff means anything. It's just entertainment. That's all it is entertainment. So that's kind of my 2 cents there. To traders, obviously a short squeeze matters. To people playing short-term call options on Tattooed Chef, that matters. As far as any call options I have on Tattooed Chef, those are long-term call options that are, I think almost all my call options, if not all my call options in Tattooed Chef are 2024. They expire in 2024. So I have a long time to play out there. And even those call options, let's say that Tattooed Chef goes up to $22 or whatever, $23 again, right? Even those call options, I'm not interested in selling those call options either. Like, I think there's a lot more potential there, right? So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed a little video like this. Wanted to discuss this subject. I think it's interesting to discuss some of these weird subjects like this sometimes and what short sellers are saying out there and what they think, and the stock's going to tank if Jeremy was to do this, and only a short squeeze is going to save Jeremy, things like that. It's very entertaining. I think they're worth talking about sometimes. Much love as always, guys. Don't forget to smash. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not. And we got a free 7-day trial for a private stock group going on right now. Check out pinned comment. Peace.